Peter likes math and history, and we're going to talk about eliminating the variables. So, in the past few videos, we have been taking a look at when you have two variables with two equations that you want to find for x and y. But you've been having to do a lot of, okay, subtract that by that, add that by that, then multiply, then divide. There are a lot of steps when you do that, but there's actually a shortcut to finding what x and y is with a little bit more fewer steps. That is called eliminating the variables, because what we're going to see is one variable is magically going to disappear, then magically reappear again. So, in a simple definition, here is how it works. So, when you eliminate the variables or do that strategy, you usually try to have the two equations add up to each other. So, here's a really simple example. 8 plus 5 does equal 13, and 4 plus 19 does equal 23. So what we're going to do is we're going to add the two equations. So basically, even though these two are true and they make sense, adding the two is also going to make true as well. So we're going to do 8 plus 4, 5 plus 19, and 13 plus 23. And our new equation on the bottom should be, it makes sense. So 8 plus 4 is 12. 5 plus 19 is 24. And last but not least, 13 plus 23 is going to become 36. And when we add them, 12 plus 24 does equal 36. But we're going to do that with variables. So here's our first example. But wait, when you add the two equations, you will never ever find an example that doesn't work. Like you can insert any numbers that add up to each other, add the two equations, and your new equation will still work. So it's really impossible. It's impossible to find something on here that doesn't ever all work. So here's an example. We have 10x plus y equals 75. And 5x minus y equals 15. So what do we insert for x and y? So just like our sample problem, we can do it like this too, but this time with variables. But the thing is, do you see these two variables, the positive y and the negative y? Those are basically the opposite from each other. Positive and negative numbers are basically the opposite. That is also saying when you say negative 6 and positive 6. The distance between the two is going to be double the amount to get to 0. So basically, we're going to say the distance from negative 6 and 6 is 12. Because you got to go from negative 6 to 0, 6. And from 0 to 6, another 6. So that is 12. You learned this when you were watching Absolute Value.
For the Krusty Krab! Piece of cake.
So, that's an example when we learn absolute value. So going back to the problem, that can show us that positive y and negative y is going to become 0y, or just nothing. So basically, we just eliminated something. So now, all we have is 15x because we add the two, and we have 75 plus 15 equals 90. So basically, we just made a new equation. What is x? Divide by 15, divide that side by 15, and x is going to equal 6. So, since that 6 represents the x variable, what is the y variable? So, since we eliminated the y from the entire equations, we're gonna magically make it reappear.
Blocky and Woody got 24 and 29 votes respectively. Eraser and Pen, coincidentally, you both got exactly 2 to the 5th votes.
Wishes!
32. You're both eliminated.
Wait, before you zap me, I have something to say.
So by doing that, we're gonna insert 6 into x in both equations. So let's start with 10x plus y equals 75, because that was our first equation. We're going to put 6 in here so we can isolate the y variable. So 10 multiplied by 6 is 60, plus y equals 75. Subtract by 60, subtract by 60, and we get y equals 15. But will that work for the other equation? Let's see. The other equation that we mentioned was 5x minus that by y equals 15. So we have 5 times 6 as x is 30. Minus that by y equals 15. Then we're going to have to subtract by 30, subtract by 30, and negative y equals negative 15. Divide by negative 1 since we want y alone, because mathematicians actually want a variable as a positive. Divide this side by negative 1, and y will become 15. So, we had y for 15 for this one, and we also had y for 15 on that one. And we both did it while inserting in for x. So now we can say that 6, 15 is going to be our answer for x and y. Math teachers in high school will like it if you put your answer as a point because it indicates on a graph where those 2 points land. So yes, it worked. The two lines or equations intersected at 6, 15. This is another way of doing it. But wait, what happens if you never had that graph in front of you, or you never had a graphing calculator? That's when your teacher wants you to fact check it. So we're going to put everything in its standard form, like 10 multiply that by 6 plus 15 is going to equal 75. And we're also going to do 5 multiply that by 6 minus that by 15 should equal 15, because it will help your teachers understand if you understand it and if you got the question right, because this might be on a quiz. So what we're going to do is 10 times 6 is 60, plus 15 should equal 75. And 5 times 6 is 30, minus 15 equals 15. So that is going to be our check. Let's see one more example before the video ends. So, with this example, we're gonna have the same steps again. But this time, instead of isolating y or eliminating y, we want to eliminate the x. So, 4x plus negative 4x is 0x, or just 0. So now we can focus on the 8y plus 2y, that is 10y. And 20 plus negative 30, that's going to equal negative 10. So, later, we're going to reappear the x variable again. This time, what is y? So, why does this happen? 10 divided by 10 is just y, and 10 divided by, negative 10 divided by 10, y is going to equal negative 1. So we're going to insert on here. So 4x, because we reappear the x again, plus 8 multiply that by negative 1 is going to equal 20. 8 multiplied by negative 1 is negative 8. So 4x plus negative 8 equals 20. We're going to add that by 8, add this side by 8, and we have 28. So 4x equals 28. Divide by 4, and we have x equals 7. Let's check the next one. So the next one was negative 4x plus 2y equals negative 30. So we're going to put negative 1 in for 2y. So that's going to become a negative 2. Negative 4x plus negative 2 equals negative 30. Add that by 2, add this side by 2, we get negative 28. So negative 4x equals negative 28. When we divide the negative 4 to get x alone, we get negative 28 divided by negative 4. That's going to be a positive. X equals 7. So that's going to be our answer. We're going to have negative 1. We're going to have, add the parentheses, we're going to have 7 comma negative 1 as our point. So the next thing we gotta do is fact check again. So we have 4 multiply that by 7, add that by 8, multiply that by negative 1 equals 20. And negative 4x, or negative 4 multiply that by 7, is going to be added by 2 multiplied by negative 1 equals negative 30. Let's see if that works. So 4 times 7 is 28. Then we have to add that by 8 multiplied by negative 1 is negative 8. It's going to equal 20. 28 minus 8 is 20. How about the bottom one? Negative 4 multiplied by 7 is negative 28. And we have to add that by 2 multiplied by negative 1 is negative 2. And that's going to equal negative 30. So that also works. So we can say is 7 comma negative 1 as a point is going to work. So that is how you eliminate the variables. And that's another way of finding the variables for x and y. I hope this video has helped you. Thank you for watching Taoping Airlines Math Industry. Like and subscribe. And the video that we showed you with the talking objects is made by a YouTube channel called Jack NF Jellify. And it's a really cool YouTube channel because it has an animation of these objects doing a contest. You should really watch his videos. So, like and subscribe.